Greetings, friends, and welcome to the woods. Last time we talked about meditation and its role in finding the zone, finding your center of self, finding your perception of spirit, of what lies beyond the physical, and how, with practice, you can fine tune your frequency, your mental frequency, eventually your physical frequency, to access other levels, other dimensions, other space, other time, and converse, draw answers, and eventually to travel. We're not there yet. Give it time. So, meditation. That's kind of the drill work, the footwork you need to do for all other intuitive tools to be useful for you. Now, people use different means to find that center, that the access point to those perceptions. Meditation is the most obvious, but athletes, when they're in the zone, it's the same thing. Artists, when they're creating, it's the same thing. Everything from cooking to dancing to gardening to competitive sports, all of that kind of stuff. Any place where you're in the zone, it could be you're on stage and you're pulling through a character. You are tapping into part of yourself that relates to the role that you're playing. Again, you're in the zone. Now let's look at the most obvious and easiest and also most difficult tool that you can use once you learn how to find the zone. And some people use it to find the zone and to stay in the zone. And that's dowsing. You've heard of dowsing for water, where you have, it originally started as a stick. People use metal rods now, where they hold them in each hand and they will open or close depending on your answer or depending on finding the location, what you're looking for. You're using a different part of your awareness with that. It's similar to the technique that you can use to find out if something is right for you or good for you, where you hold whatever is in question up to your heart, and your healer, your advisor, will press down on your arm, see what your arm strength is in relation to what you're holding. That's, again, utilizing your tap into source to get answers. Pendulum, same thing. You have to be in the zone to use these methods. You have to be focused. You have to have a question. Focus on your question. And the body is providing the answers, not the mind. You're going to bypass the critical thinking, the judgment, the programmed thinking. You're going to go straight to intuition, straight through the part of you that responds instinctively. The same part of you that breathes, that your heart beats, that your blood flows without you having to think about it. That's the part of you that you're tapping into. Now, Ouija board, same thing. You're moving a planchette around the board. You're moving a pointer around the board to find an answer or to spell out an answer. But with all of these particular methods, you want to bless your efforts first. You want to call in a blessing. You want to make sure that the environment around you is not contaminated and there isn't some outside person trying to influence what you see or what your interpretation is, what you know, what you do. So before you begin, you put out, you center in self, which is why meditation, you learn how to do that, where distractions aren't going to interfere with your ability to attune. Center in self, and then state your intention. I'm calling on the highest good to protect me and to only show me what is needful and good and true. And then you ask your question, whether you're using dowsing rods to get your answer, whether you're using a pendulum to get your answer, whether you're using a Ouija board. Be careful with that one. Always protection first. Whatever you're using to get your answer, make sure that you're holding steady. You're holding steady with source. Now, I find these methods harder because I have affiliations, I have friendships, I have guardians and guides and patrons who work with me, who can add momentum and assistance to what I'm doing. So it isn't all just coming from me, all just coming from, it's a lot more work, a lot more focus, a lot more energy when you're doing all the heavy lifting. Some of the other methods where you're talking with your ancestors or you're working with those who guard and guide you, they're providing part of the energy. They're meeting you halfway. And so it's not all on your shoulders. That can make it much easier if you have good guides, guardians, and patrons. So these methods, it can help you learn how to attune to source where you don't get distracted. It can teach you that you can get answers that way. You can use dowsing to find something that you've lost. If you can use the pendulum to get answers to your questions, and you can also use it to point to the answer. You can use it to spell out the answer. These methods will help train you in how to keep your will focused, to keep your attention focused on the answer and on the truth. Because if you don't prioritize the truth, the answer you get is going to be the answer you want. Not helpful at all. But these methods will help train you. So when you use some of the other more intricate, the other methods that you're going to have to practice a little bit to use those tools, that these will have put you on the road to the most important thing, and that's being able to tap in. Something to think about, and welcome to the woods.